Now, the US presidential race is still focused on events in the swing state of Wisconsin. Following Trump's visit 2 days ago, Democrat Joe Biden was in the city of Kenosha, where African-American man Jacob Blake was shot and injured by police. That incident triggered mass unrest in the city. Well, Biden spoke to Blake by phone during his visit. He also expressed his support for the protesters. Trump, on a visit to Pennsylvania, another battleground state, criticized Biden for being weak on law and order.
For the entire summer, Biden was silent as far-left rioters viciously attacked law enforcement in Democrat-run cities hall, burned down businesses, terrorized civilians, and just recently marched through the streets chanting "Death to America." This is what we have.
Well, from that, I'm joined by our chief foreign editor, Robert Parsons. And Rob, we just heard Trump there calling Biden weak once again. How is the Democrat trying to reshape the agenda in his favour this week?
Well, it's interesting what Joe Biden's trying to do, because law and order is clearly going to be at least one, if not the main, battleground that Donald Trump has chosen for this electoral campaign, now entering the final stretch. But Joe Biden has decided to take him to go after him head on by going precisely to Kenosha against the advice of some of the Democratic leaders, including the governor of Wisconsin, and fight him at his own game, in effect. But where Donald Trump had stressed law and order with barely any outreach to the black community in Kenosha, where he spoke to the police primarily and leaders of the business community, Joe Biden has gone there oozing empathy and talking about hope. Fear won't create change. He said hope will create change, and criticizing Donald Trump for what he calls legitimizing the dark side of human nature. Joe Biden spent about 90 minutes with Jacob Blake's family. As you said in your introduction, spent 15 minutes talking to him on the phone. And his message was completely different. He said that there had to be hope, and that this could be a turning point in the United States. It's on the cusp of something, rather like the civil rights movement in the 1960s. It was an opportunity to confront, as he put it, the original sin in the U.S. of slavery. So he said, I can't tell you, everything will be solved in 4 years, but I can tell you it's going to be a heck of a lot better. Whether this is going to work or not for Joe Biden remains to be seen. But he seems to be counting on his conviction that Americans have had enough of division, enough hatred and lies and confrontation, and they want to heal. And he's presenting himself, in effect, as their healer.
Right, and here we are, Rob, 2 months out from Election Day. A raft of new polls has just been published. What are they telling us?
Well, this is interesting because they do rather suggest that Joe Biden's approach might be getting it right. Donald Trump clearly has calculated that by stressing law and order, he can narrow the gap that had opened up by the beginning of August between him and Joe Biden. Beginning of August, the gap was about 8 to 9%. But here we are a month later, post-conventions, at a period when normally in U.S. politics, the incumbent is on the peak of his campaign. And the gap has narrowed, but not by enough to make Donald Trump feel at all secure. It's down now from 8 to 9% nationwide at the beginning of August to 7 to 8%, a gap of just 0.7%. And we're seeing pretty much the same picture in the battleground states as well. Obviously tighter there, but Joe Biden still on average has a lead of about 5%. This is going to make Donald Trump nervous with just 9 weeks now to go to the elections. The strategy doesn't seem to be working. Things can change, obviously. He may get the vaccination for COVID-19. Unemployment figures may start to shrink. Things could get better for him. But at the moment, the situation looks like it could be tricky for Donald Trump.
Rob, thank you very much indeed. Rob Parsons there.